to the show. And here are your hosts, the diabolical Elite Gaming Guru, the illustrious Red Dead Panda, and the Australian stud AshtreyGaming. So let's get this party started. Shit.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody.
Oh, hello. You caught me off guard. You just said, yeah, it's showing 4 minutes, and then you went, we're live.
Just keeping you on your toes, man.
Boba, boba.
Yeah.
Boba, boba.
Who we got in chat? Actually, I'm going to do a shout out to the chat, God damn it. Thank you, hello, Try Hard. Thank you for staying here for so long, joining us. We've got lots of great topics that you might enjoy, or you might not. Smitty the Smith, I was saying Sniff then. Smitty the Smith, thanks for joining us. TSWS Gaming, yo. And we've got Boba. Yeah. So I did there.
It's gonna be a messy show as per usual because Elite has already started drinking.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Poland. What's it? It's actually later than usual because I'm in Poland because they're ahead. So it's 10:30 at night here in Poland. Yes, I'm in Poland, so I thought I'd just go to Poland. So, and I've got double whiskey and a lager by my side.
How long was the flight? 2 hours?
2 hours.
So
yeah, 2 hours.
Everything's 2 hours. For you guys.
Easy casual. Yeah, everywhere. It's great, isn't it? That's the good thing about the UK. So we can just go anywhere and be there in 2 hours.
Yeah, that'd take us about 24 hours or something.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Well,
in your face.
In your
face. In this country.
Reminder, guys, I'm not here for too long today, so let's get started. We're on episode.
Wait, shit, bruv. We got a guest joining us today.
We haven't even announced the name of the show yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's gonna be messy, guys. It's gonna be messy, apparently.
Right. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. For Gamers Leadership Podcast episode 85, I think we're at 85. Yes. We've got some good fire topics. You've got obviously myself, the fantastic, amazing, incredible, lustrous.
Sorry.
You've got Red Dead Panda.
Hello.
Yeah. And Ashtray the Gaming.
Yes. Ashtray the Gaming.
Oh, guys. But we do have a special guest as well, Hamzolo. Hamzolo's mic's muted at the moment.
He is going to be late because he is actually finishing off another.
Nope, I'm here.
There we go.
He's here.
There he is.
I'm here.
How are you?
He's double dipping, Hamzolo. He's on 2 podcasts at once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I really am.
That's all right.
How have you been? What have you been up to?
What was that?
I was asking how he is and what he's been up to. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's out again. All right. Well, Red, what have you been up
to? First week back at work, so it's been great. And then, so struggling to get back into the swing of things. I became an auntie for the first time this week, so that's really cool. So I am actually leaving the show early to go down and visit my niece for the first time. I haven't met her yet. But yeah, that's basically where I've been at. I finished off A Plague's Tale Requiem finally, and
fantastic game.
Yeah, it is a really good game. I'm looking forward to the next one. And then what else have I been playing? I've been playing. I got back into some Cyberpunk, and yeah, I downloaded Monster Hunter Rise to see what that's like. I've never played one of the Monster Hunter games, so if anyone knows anything about it, you're gonna have to teach me because I've never played any of the games before. But yeah, that's really been my week. How about yourself, Ham? How's your week been? What have you been up to? No.
I think we're having audio issues.
Audio issues. I was just asking what you've been up to this week, Ham.
Oh, I've been playing a crap ton of Ark Survival Evolved.
Nice.
yeah.
I have about 25 more hours into that just this week.
Damn.
Which brings my grand total to about 135 or 36 days.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's a lot of time.
I think I've got 200 days in it. I'll give up on that because of the I got bored of it when they started bringing tech into the game and the server transfers. It really ruined it because a lot of the tribes, a lot of the servers now, everyone's alpha tribes. No, what they're called super alpha tribes, where everyone basically, if you're in a mass, everyone's on the server is in the same tribe, and then they go to other servers and wipe other servers. And it got really dull to play. So I don't know if you play online, do you? PvP.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy the game though. Like it doesn't. Like I more or less play by myself. And I have my wife that plays, and my father-in-law plays as well, and we all work together. So it's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, it's good like that, just to play it, just like that, yeah. But you need to come on Conan Exiles.
Oh, I don't like
that. Oh, you mute. Oh, well, I'm going quiet now then.
Well, that's welcome.
No.
Elite, I know you've been in Poland, but have you been playing anything?
Yes, kind of.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah, as a given. Not as much as I'd like to have done that, I read, because obviously the experience with the old man. No, so I've just started downloading Monster. Oh, what's it called? Oh, what's it?
Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I've got Monster Squad in my head for some reason. Remember Monster Squad, that old 80s film?
No, we're not as old as you.
Yeah, I'm quite young.
That box in the way. Something. Monster Island. Hunter. Yeah. So I played it. I bought the original. This is going to get exciting. So I bought the original, played it for about 30 minutes, and thought, it's not as good as I thought it'd be. Character creation was great. So for 25 minutes of those 30 minutes with me doing the character creation. Got into the game, I thought the combat was a bit poo. But I'm happy to get back into it with someone if someone wants to give it a go, because I do like that style of game. So I'm coming to download it again and we run through it.
Well, it's Rise is just released, so on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I
thought it's DLC, or was that a completely different game?
Different game.
Is it? I thought it's DLC.
Because this is the one that came out on the Switch. Because World didn't come to the Switch from memory.
Oh, right. I thought it was just DLC to the original game. I didn't realise it was an actual completely new game. Oh, there we go. I learned something new. There's a reason why I come in, see? I thought you were idiots, but I learned stuff from you.
Damn.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I've not played Cyberpunk yet. I might play Cyberpunk tonight to get back into that. And there's just too many games at the moment. Oh, yeah. That was mean. What have you been playing, Ashtray Gaming?
I've been playing a few things as usual. Iris Fall, that was Games with Gold game. That's actually quite good. Little puzzle game.
It looks creepy, so I decided not to download
not really. No, not really. I just wanted to give it a shot, and it's pretty good. Pretty good game. It's pretty easy as well. It's probably about a 4-hour run through, so it doesn't take up too much of your time, and you can pick it up and put it down. So that's all right. I played a little bit of Abzu. I don't know if anyone's going to play has played that. That's an older title, but it's when you're swimming in water and you've got to basically just swim with fish and get yourself around through each level. So it's not that difficult, but it's a nice game. It's a relaxing game to play. So I was just playing that to clean up some achievements that I needed to get, and a little bit of Fortnite. I haven't got any new footage because for some reason, when I turn my Xbox on, it tends to say that the USB has been disconnected, even though it's sitting in the back. So I have to unplug it and plug it back in, and sometimes it doesn't always work. And that's been happening since the last update back in December. So I've kind of not recorded any new footage at the moment.
Feedback through?
Feedback through?
Yeah, to Xbox about that issue.
No, I never do. I'm not in any inner circle shit anyway. No.
Okay.
No. So
fair enough.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you're stuck with some gameplay from High on Life, but I might put some more Mad Max on that we had on last week later on in the show as well. But anyway, we should jump in our first topic.
Yes.
What is that? Anybody?
Well, quickly, just before we do get into that first topic, Tryhard did mention, and I agree. Like, did any of you guys watch the Last of Us TV series yet?
No.
Who plays the subscription services? No, I'm not paying for that. I want to buy my. I want to buy my TV series.
You don't want to rent it?
Yeah.
I should
See
have
how
seen
that
that
works?
coming. Should have seen that coming.
See that energy? Smell that energy.
Keep that same energy.
No, I've not, to be honest. But then it's not because of negative or slight on the show or anything. Because I've not watched Halo either. So,
There you go.
so there's that. So
Do you mean
I
you
will
would-
watch them both.
Oh, you
But the
intend
good
to
thing
watch
is,
them, okay.
yes, because the good thing is I could watch the show and then I won't have to play the game then. So.
You
Well,
can say that?
Gee.
Either or.
Yeah, no.
You're pretty much watching it when you play it anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. no, I will watch it because apparently what I've seen from screens and that is like for like. So the only thing about that is that there was the co-director that's come out and saying he's a bit disgruntled, isn't there? Because he didn't get a mention in the credits or anything. It was
Oh.
all Neil. Neil was like just spent all the credits were just Neil apparently. Everything. Director, gaffer, artist, or just Neil Druckmann's name all over the whole thing. Credits.
Did you know it
yeah.
was an interactive show as well? You have to blow into the whatever the hell their
Controller?
controller's called. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
The
To
dual
keep the
sense.
show running.
I
If you stop
believe-
blowing, the show pauses.
I believe you got to swipe on the pad when you've got that golf stick in your hand too. Later on in the series.
Oh, in season 2.
No, but I will watch it. I
Sorry,
will give it a
try
go.
hard. They're just trolling you right now.
Yeah. No, but I'm sure. No, try. Honestly, I will watch it because I need to. I'm going to watch Halo, and I'm going to watch that as well. You got to understand. There's a bit. What I've heard, it's good and it looks good, and yeah, I'm gonna. I'll watch it. I'm not going to
Sounds
say
like a
anything bad about
video
it.
game adaptation to a TV show has actually been
Which is
done
usually bad.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually bad.
Yeah,
Halo. And
Oh, no, but
so-
that's done really well. People keep saying it was failed and it's done horrible, but
Okay,
it's done really well.
okay.
Paramount.
for gamers, it
Yeah.
wasn't great.
No, it wasn't a good
But-
game adaptation.
No,
no.
no, it wasn't. But from what I've heard about The Last of Us, for the TV show, the first episode was fire. Everyone loved it, and I'm kind of happy to hear that. It is kudos that that's made that transition into that part of the entertainment industry without making a lot of cuts and crap like that. But kudos to them. Yeah. Mhm. Ham, have you watched the first episode of The Last of Us TV show
No, I'm waiting for it to come out.
all at once?
I'm waiting for like at least over half the season to be out, and then I'm gonna get it so I can only get HBO Max for a month because I really don't want that subscription service.
Yeah. True that. I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it illegally because I don't want that subscription service either.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. I'm waiting for it to release on Game Pass. So.
Oh, you're such a troll.
Lovely. Man, speaking of Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass subscribers are confused. I don't know why about losing access to games. Recently, a few games, about 6 games, leaving the service. Do you guys aware of this? Do you guys keep up on what's leaving Game Pass at all?
I usually don't.
No.
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 I
So
don't really care enough about it.
they usually have that tile and leaving soon. So sometimes I'll click on it just to have a look, just in case I've missed something. But yeah, I don't really keep up on that much either because we game that much that we probably usually know what's, whether we've played it or whether we want to play it or not anyway. But the game's leaving as We Happy Few. I still haven't, I loaded that up when it first came out, but I didn't really play it.
We
So,
Happy Few's leaving. Oh, right, We Happy Few. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
been on there a
calls
while, yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I did-
gamers
yeah.
were confused as to why We Happy Few was leaving, considering it's a first-party studio. But if you aren't aware, it wasn't even published by Microsoft, so
Wow.
they don't have rights to retain that game
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
service.
The
published
game
by
released
Gearbox.
before Xbox owned them,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nobody Saves the World, Paparazzi. I mean, these are games that not interested in playing anyway. Anacrusis, I played that for a little bit. It was a bit weird. And that was only in game preview, if I remember correctly. So why they're confused, I don't know. Games come out all the time. So
I think it's just the casuals not realizing that this game is not actually owned by Microsoft. The IP itself, like, I mean, they don't have the rights to kind of stipulate it's going to stay in Game Pass or anything. I think that's what the confusion was.
Ah.
Like it's Microsoft owned studio. Why is it not staying in? And
So they don't understand that things happened before the acquisition,
yeah, they don't
etc.
understand the concept of things
Okay.
that happened before the acquisition. Yeah.
Okay, well that's kind of on them, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Anyway,
Yeah. Exactly.
um,
Harley, other than in the chat, just for you, I'm going to say it. Rubbish. That's my rubbish comment for you. There you go. You can leave now. Don't leave, other sync. Love having you in the chat.
Ham, do you have anything to say on this topic? Just a quick one to wet the whistle, and start the show off nice and easy.
Yeah.
Nah. You
Nah.
weren't confused. I wasn't confused either.
That's just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, fair enough.
It doesn't really offend anyone or upset anyone. Everyone, yeah, because usually the games that are leaving are games that nobody's played. That's what you usually get rid of. So that's why nobody cares. So yeah,
Exactly.
Just buy it at that point. It's on discount.
Yeah, it is
yeah,
on discount.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I did to Naruto. I was playing Naruto on Game Pass. Loved the game. One of the only games I've 100%ed, and it was leaving, so I thought I'm buying it, and I did. So there we go. So
And have you played it since you bought it?
yes, I have.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
no,
you
I did.
didn't.
No, I did play it. I did play it. And I also bought all the DLC to it, which is a lot of, because in the game you've got lots of, I don't know if anyone's Naruto, but there's lots of masters and stuff you can get, and I bought all them, so I spent quite a lot of money on the game, to be honest. So
Shit. Well done.
Yeah,
thank
wow.
you.
Yeah,
Not
you
because
bought
I-
a game
not-
and the DLC. Who are you and
Yeah.
what have you done with Elite?
And not because I like the game or anything. I just done it just to support developers. I just wanted to support developers. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I don't believe anything you're saying right now, man.
So next topic.
The Suicide Squad game is reportedly a live server title. May face some backlash as Marvel's Avengers did. Oh, why are they doing this? Why can't they just make a game like Guardians of the Galaxy that everyone played, everyone enjoyed? Why does everything have to be live service? I don't know. That shit's me. What do you guys think? Does it bother you? I just think live service. It's always trying to get more money out of you through microtransactions.
And it will.
I'm gonna go first on this if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you go for it.
So I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people are making it out to be, because I tell you what, there's plenty of games that offer things to me. NBA 2K, anytime I turn that on, it says buy VC. I hit B and continue my day. That's why it doesn't bother me. If it fails, let it fail. But I'm not going to be bothered by it. And as long as they don't keep like something away from you, like leveling up or, any kind of weapons that are
Pay to win.
detrimental to the game, then go ahead and sell whatever you want. I walk into a gas station every day. I don't buy everything. I buy what I need and get the fuck out of there. So it doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But don't you think these live service games are sort of ruining or taking advantage of these franchises?
Oh, absolutely, they are. But then again, they're in the business to make money. So I don't hold them like I don't get mad at them about it. I'm just not gonna give you $1. I'm not gonna give you $5. I'm not gonna give you $20. I don't care about I don't care about your battle pass. If you want me to care about it, do something meaningful with it. But other than that, I'll just hit B and just keep it moving. It don't bother me.
Is anyone actually hyped for the game? Was anyone looking out for a
I was
Suicide
hyped for the game.
Squad game? Yeah.
And then this news came out, and I was like, "Thank you, next." And we're just so saturated with live service games, and and I'm just kind of over it a little bit, because a lot of these live service games that are coming out are really half-assed and just aren't complete, and there's things wrong with them, and they're buggy, and they're trying to fix it all the time, and doesn't seem to be that these developers learn anything from seeing the other news about all these other live service games that have crashed and burned. And they seem to be repeating the same old thing every time. And all these like publishers and like executives who are trying to chase trends to get more money. And I'm just like kind of taking the fun out of being a gamer. Like I would love to go out and go play games to find specific skins or new weapons or anything like that. And people get FOMO. Like gamers get FOMO. Like your point, Ham, about saying like you don't go into a service station and buy everything in the service station, but when you are playing a video game where they have things that you can just buy skins and so on and so forth, yes, you're right, you don't have to purchase it, but then you see other people running around with it and you look really cool, and then your willpower slowly some people's willpower starts to die down and then dissipate, and then they just give in and they're like, oh, it's just a couple of bucks, and then that adds up over time. And I'm kind of sick of seeing how saturated the gaming industry is with games as a service. I like games where you could get everything included from day one. I didn't mind DLC because you're getting extra content and you weren't having to consistently pay for every little skin in that regard. Like you got a big chunk of content, it was all there. It wasn't pay this amount for this skin, pay this amount for this skin, or anything like that. So I'm kind of annoyed about this, but I'm gonna do that wait and see and see if things change and maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, because it doesn't sound like it's pay to win, which is the most important part. I think if it's pay to win, I think then you're looking at a game where it's like not interested at all. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, didn't Arkham Knight have some sort of pay for your skins and stuff, and that got a bit of backlash as well? And then it sounds like they maybe haven't learnt enough of a lesson.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Fortnite's probably a really good example, because they have a lot of that. You have lots of different skins and things you can buy. None of it's pay to win, which is good. So I think that a lot of these businesses, or Square Enix, is sort of trying to capitalize on that sort of thing. I just don't think that these type of games need that. But at the same time, like Ham said, look, yeah, you don't have to purchase it. You're not forced to. But make it more subtle. Make it sort of so that it's not in your face. I can understand 2K don't really care, so they're just gonna put it up as a prompt every time you turn the game on, or whatever happens to you in that game. But with something like this, I think people just want to get in and play. And if there's an option to have that in a menu, then sure. But having it as a focal point will probably be a bad thing. And I think that's what happened to Marvel's Avengers. It was kind of at the forefront as opposed to being more in the background. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I mean,
I'm kind of over.
Gameplay is good.
I'm kind of over that kind
fine.
of stuff anyway. Like all this superhero stuff been saturated for me. But what does chat think? Are you guys keen for this? Has this sort of turned you off? Elite.
What do I think?
Well,
hello.
You know what we think of what you think, but
what do you think? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I'll tell you what I think. Firstly, let's go back. We didn't really need a Suicide Squad movie. I don't know why they made so many Suicide Squad movies, because DC could have touched on so many other things in the Suicide Squad movie, but they did make them because they wanted money. And then what's her face just wanted to just keep making films of her as the headlining star in it and make it all about her. That's why there was trash, apart from the most recent one. Yeah, what's her face? Yeah, but she's from some silly country. I can't remember what it's called now. Yeah,
the place in the chat that you wanted to visit.
Yeah, Shazwater. But and they only got good because of the recent movie, so which didn't actually feature as much. Did you watch the recent one? That was the only good one. I thought the rest were trash.
No,
the recent one's good.
The Birds of Prey one. And I watched the first Suicide Squad. I've not watched the second one.
Awful. Yeah, awful. There was all awful, and then the recent one was actually really good. And she wasn't the main feature of it, and it was about a Suicide Squad, and they were really good actually. And it was what's his name, John Cena in it. It was actually, his character's really good, and the Peacemaker series is really fantastic. I'd urge people to watch that. But anyway, you get to even see him naked for anyone that's interested in seeing John Cena naked. But anyway,
but I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff.
No, I'm definitely not cool.
How?
Yeah, just to
Thank
you, just you, Elite.
Just you,
Yeah.
Elite, yeah.
Anyway,
Pillow
for the game, I wasn't. Yeah, so the same. My same mentality went for the game. I thought, do we need a Suicide Squad game? Is sort of trying to feed off the sort of the movie franchise now, and we don't need it. And I still think the same. And I think these kind of games where it's sort of a live service title, I think would only work for games like Hitman, which actually is another. People were talking about bad game to movie transfers. Hitman was a great movie that transferred from game. I think
was it though?
Yeah, I thought both Hitmans are great. Did you like them? I thought they were fantastic movies.
They were, in my
Chat-
opinion, average.
Ah,
I watch a lot
You're-
of movies, and I
you're-
mean a lot. So
you're a
like,
horrible person inside.
yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah. So I don't think these kind of games need to be live service. Games like Hitman that I can understand where it'd be good if you talk the Hitman, you go on a mission, and then it's like live service. You get other missions to other countries and yada yada yada. But these you don't need. These I think they just kill games when they're just live service, and especially a game that I don't think will be popular anyway. Because we saw, I mean, Avengers is a much bigger franchise than Suicide Squad, and I think this will kill Suicide Squad. I think so.
Oh well, Avengers didn't do great either. So,
No, exactly, and so this will kill Suicide Squad.
but I think
Even though it looks better.
Suicide Squad has the ability, in the sense of it being DC, to be gritty and dark in some respect, to some degree.
Yeah, if they
there's
crank
that
up
jokiness
yeah.
around Suicide Squad as well. But like, I'm just hoping that they do the content justice, and I really do hope they do that. It deserves it. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, we've did it. That's the only good thing. I think DC don't make for good movies. Let's go upset Red. Don't make good movies, but they do make good games. The game seems to come out good.
Hey, no
and
slander on the DC movie.
yeah, I'll just say that their cartoons are fantastic. If they could make movies like they make their cartoons, then they would win.
So hang
The
on, you
Harley
don't like
Quinn
any?
cartoon is quite good. The
You
Harley
don't
Quinn
like any of the
one is good.
Batman movies?
The ones that the ones like what's his face made? Christian
Yeah.
Bale, who made that? Yeah, those kind of ones are good. But then they don't really hold. They're more like the only problem with them is that they're great, but they're standalone movies. They don't really fit into the DC universe. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. Me neither.
Nah. So
agree, they
they're
don't.
great standalone movies, but they don't fit into the DC universe, and that's what I want to see. I'd like to see, that's why I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I'd like to see that kind of Batman put into a darker, sort of savage Batman that just and fights criminals that are more like the criminals he fights in the comics than sort of grounded criminals.
Did you
That's
watch
the
I
only
really
thing.
like that the newer Batman had like just more futuristic stuff. I mean, I know some people didn't think that was great, but I thought it was dope.
one with Robert Pattinson? The new one? Is that what you're talking about, Ham?
The like Superman versus Batman movie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was good. I liked him. Yeah, Robert
It was
Pattinson.
fantastic.
Yeah, I think I watched Robert Pattinson, and it was once again, it's like a good standalone movie, but I didn't watch it as Batman. It was yeah.
Its
it
own
was-
separate. Yeah.
It's same as Joker. The movie was good, but I wouldn't watch it and think, yeah, this is a great Joker movie. I'd like to see him in the DC universe. I wouldn't like to see him in the DC universe. I don't think it was good. So, and that's what's weird is that they've changed him up for the next movie. It's going to appear in, isn't he? It's not the
It's
same.
because they can't seem to sort out, and they really
No.
need to work
No.
out a 10-year plan and work out
Yeah.
all the stories and how they all interlink together and everything else
Yeah.
that they want to do, and make those ironclad contracts and sort it out. But they just never seem
Yeah.
to do it.
Nah, yeah. And they're bringing back that guy, aren't they, who played the Flash, who went to prison. It's just a nutcase.
Not necessarily. I don't
I heard they're bringing
know
back.
if they are with the new series coming through.
Yeah. Right. But anyway, we've gone off topic a bit, but
We
we
have.
can talk about DC and Marvel. But maybe we should have a podcast talking DC Marvel because I like that kind of stuff. But anyway,
You can have
Let's
Dauntless on the
move on-
show with you.
yeah. Mm.
Nothing
Let's-
to say. Kick out your
let's-
tongue.
Let's roly poly onto the next topic, shall we?
What is that topic?
So, I'm trying to read this now. Where we are? Playtesters hype Starfield as the biggest game, by Bethesda. I've actually not seen this, so you're going to have to lead Ashtray Gaming.
Well, apparently the rumor comes from a little show called the XNC Podcast, according to the article, which is hosted by Colt Eastwood. And he claims to have
Is he
heard...
new to gaming?
What?
Who's he? Is he new? Or...
Yeah, he's relatively new. He's an up and comer, new to the scene.
Okay.
You should follow him. He's got some good content. Anyway, he apparently has heard some people close to playtesting team that the game is bigger and more ambitious. So, well, we've heard this before, though, I guess. But if this is true and playtesters are actually excited about what they're playing, what they're seeing, and that, I'm all for it. I mean, it's a game that most of us are pretty hyped for anyway at this point. We just want a bloody release date. I don't know about you guys, but I just want a release date right now. But yes, I'll definitely be jumping into it, and just fingers crossed for me that it's something that I'll spend a few hundred hours in playing and seeing what, it has to offer. So according to everything that I've watched, they've had, I think it was last year, they had a few little shows to sort of describe what the gameplay was going to be like. They had information about the factions and what to expect there, and that random events and things were going to happen while you play. So it's not something that's specifically linear that you have to just go do and then you follow the story. You'd kind of do things randomly, and that's perfect for someone like me, because I tend to do things in a different way to the story, and somehow I loop back into it. So that sounds good for someone like me. But yeah, if playtesters are talking real positive about it, well, that's a really good sign for this game. What do you guys think? Ham, you played... Oh, are you interested in playing Starfield?
Have you played Starfield?
Have you played it yet?
Have I played what?
It's called No Man's Sky.
Are you
Oh, yeah,
interested to
I
play Starfield?
It's okay.
Yeah, but are you hyped for Starfield? The positive playtest, people are talking positively about it. Does that give you some hype for it, or you'll just play it when it drops and it doesn't?
Nothing about No Man's Sky gives me hype about Starfield.
Good, because they're two completely different games, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly the way I'm looking at it. I feel like it's almost disrespectful to say No Man's Sky and Starfield. Because it's just like, yeah, they're both in space. Are we going to talk about Star Trek while we're at it? Why not Star Wars?
Mass Effect.
Yeah, why not Mass Effect?
So everyone talks about.
There's all kind of games where you travel through the universe,
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you see people every time someone brings up the comparison of No Man's Sky and what do you call it, Starfield, it's absolutely ridiculous. Because they've clearly not played No Man's Sky, which is awful. I stupidly bought the game because they were selling the game for about 20 quid, and I thought, I'll buy it now, and I bought it, and it was awful. I'm glad. Like, I can see why people didn't like it. See why it was hated. The graphics are just very generic, very just basic. The game's very generic, very basic. You're basically in a pre-generated world, and it's almost like playing Minecraft. You sort of bounce around, and you've got to just do stuff to build up your ship, so you can leave it and go to another planet. And then the other planet you go to is like the last planet you've just been to, but it just sort of jumbles it all up and sort of to make it and says, "There's a new planet you're on," but it's sort of the same everything, but just jumbled up a bit more.
So are you
And it's
excited
just...
about
but
the
thing
playtesters
is
talking about how excited they are for Starfield? Because they've been like what we're hearing is these playtesters have been playing Starfield and they're actually very happy, and it's bigger and better than they were expecting it. What do you guys think of that?
Yes, because people compare it to No Man's Sky, and I think everyone's under the... Even media was saying it's like the No Man's Sky, wasn't they? And No Man's Sky's got no NPCs in it, no dialogue, no story, no nothing like that. This is... They're forgetting that Bethesda makes Skyrim, and this is basically Skyrim, but on a bigger scale. They've even said it's a bigger scale. It's much bigger than Skyrim, but in space, and you can travel and do whatever you please. the guy that does the countdown on Twitter, the countdown to Starfield. You see, he posted all the traits and things like that you can get. Just reading, no, it's so interesting. Some of the things you can get is that one of the traits you can pick is you have parents, and the benefit is whenever you want, you can go to your parents' house and then they sort of look after you and you can do stuff for you. Downside is you have to pay them money every month. It's stuff like that. Or is that one where you start and you're rich, you own a big mansion, and you can visit your mansion and live there. But the downside is you have to pay 50 grand or something like a month to this, and it's just so many things like that. And the game is made I'm hoping it's what Cyberpunk should have been, and I think that's what I think it's looking towards. I think it's probably they probably did hold it back to make some minor changes. People will complain about it to make those changes as well, but I think they want to perfect it. I'm sure Phil just said, this needs to be perfect. We can't fuck this up because all eyes are looking at us right now. And look at this, and this is potentially going to be the biggest game of the year. I don't care what other people are saying. This is going to be the biggest game of the year, and and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm ready to sink hours and hours into this, just making characters and just flying around and just doing what I want to do.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. So everyone else gone.
Yeah, I was kind of just scrolling through my any OnlyFans account that was more interesting than what you were saying, Elite. So yeah. I'm sorry,
harsh.
Elite.
Oh,
I was looking for your OnlyFans.
You've only got one
account,
subscriber though, haven't you?
so I can try and get it blocked from the internet.
You've only got one subscriber on OnlyFans, and that's Stalton.
I don't even have an OnlyFans account.
Oh, yes, you do. Elite made one for you.
Yeah.
Elite, yeah, thanks, Elite.
Obviously just messaged me now asking for the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ham, what else? Do you have anything else you want to add to that? Like,
I'm sorry, you're cutting a little bit. I didn't really hear
sorry.
what you were saying.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm just going to add my
She didn't say
5,
much.
10, 20 cents into this.
I'm going to go make a
I
coffee.
like to talk. Yeah. We've got 3-course meal, Ashtray, 3-course
I'm
meal.
going back to the bar. Should we go to the bar and get you a beer and bring it to you? That's right.
Actually, that'd be great. Can you do that for me? Thanks.
I'll see you next
I'll
week.
do that, yeah.
I'll still be talking before the next podcast starts.
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of say, like, it has improved.
What the hell just happened?
They're trolling me. They're trolling me because
That was Elite snoring, man.
yeah. This does make me more excited just to hear that people who have it in their hands are enjoying the game, and there's even been talk about like it's bringing new experiences. And I know that's a lot of talk that we always hear about new games, but experiences that we haven't necessarily thought of before or played before that are going to be in this game. And so I am excited to see it, especially for that deep dive event that is going to be coming up later on. And I'm really excited to see what is happening with that title. I just want another space adventure to play because I really love the Outer Worlds. I love Mass Effect, and I love running around in space, like the TV show The Expanse, Battlestar Galactica, all of those sort of things where you're up in space and traveling around and traversing. That is probably some of my favorite content to play. So I'm really excited, and it's just nice to hear that there's rumblings coming out about this game, and it makes me more excited than I was before hearing about it. Yeah, because I don't know how I feel about a lot of this game because I still think there's a lot we haven't heard about.
Yeah, so hopefully the deep dive, next month or whenever it might be, March maybe, gives us that in-depth look and more information around that. Now, I think the biggest difference between this, or what I'm taking from a lot of it, is that it's not going to be linear like the games that you just mentioned, Red. Mass Effect. It's a great big franchise, but it's still quite linear. Yeah, you get some dialogue, options to choose from in that, but ultimately you're following a pre-written path. They're trying to say that this game is not only big in scope. You basically play it any way you want. I can pick the same character as you, Red, but we can have completely different experiences. And it's not going to be the same. It's all going to be completely different. They've said in their little videos that they had last year that you can be part of, say, the Crimson Fleet, but you can go and see what the other factions are doing, and you can still interact with them and infiltrate them, or sell them information or do whatever you want. That to me sounds pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
Very wide in scope and a true sort of freedom within a game.
Yep.
Well, there's factions and religions in the game as well. So
They're
because
talking
if
about
you
the
look at that thing
scope.
that he's posted on Twitter, there's actually religions in it as well that you can follow,
But
and they give you benefits.
They're talking about the scope of the game being a lot bigger than Skyrim. Like, we're aware of that, like 100%. And I think it's why this game has taken so long to complete. I think it's why this game has been delayed. They are just trying to make sure that they do not do another Cyberpunk, because as much as the world of Cyberpunk, and if you are aware of the actual source material, that game still was very linear, and I didn't like it around how linear it was. I mean, the game was amazing once optimized and all of that jazz, but like still linear at the end of the day, and like your experiences weren't vastly different from other people playing it, other than if you just picked a different start. And so maybe some of your dialogue options were different. I think we're going to be looking at a very different, it still will have a linear story, I guess, to some degree, but there's going to be a whole range of playing this game completely different to everyone else. Yeah.
Well, I mean, apparently there's what was it, 200 and something thousand lines of dialogue,
250,000 or something.
something like that, right? So that's massive. That's huge.
More than I've said in my whole life. No.
Which, yeah, right. That's
You're
what you
right,
said
yeah.
last week. That's about it. But and now, you know what? And that's the other thing, right? They could probably still continue to update the game and add more dialogue paths and stuff. And I actually don't think it's a dialogue path. I think they've tried to create it where the conversations feel more natural, like what would happen in real life. And that's why there's so much dialogue. So you might have a playthrough and not hear over half of that dialogue, potentially, depending on how you play it. But I don't think it's supposed to be that clean cut, linear. Go speak to this person. They'll give you 3 options of dialogue, and then you pick one. But ultimately, it doesn't matter which one you pick, because you're gonna then go do the same thing. I think it's supposed to be that the whole key point is that it's more open and more random than that. So that's what I like about it. That's what I'm feeding off it. That's what I'm looking forward to myself. So anyway. It'd be good if it was third person, though, which I doubt. Anyway,
actually, I believe you could be third or first person as well. There's the option.
Or there's an option for you to be a pillow, Elite. So you can play a pillow in that game. I knew you were excited to hear about that.
So you can hug me.
Added it just for you. Yeah.
No, apparently there is third person option.
Well, if it is, I'll be playing it as a third person perspective myself.
Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. It's third and third
Skyrim
person.
had an option to play first person or third person, so I assume that there would be one in this.
Exactly. There is.
But Ham, do you have anything else you want to further?
And the trailer just showed it was in third person as well.
Yeah, but is it going to run? Is it going to run like that all the time, or is it cut in and out of first? Because it shows a lot of first as well.
Let me look it up. Go on, Ham. What do you think of the game?
I mean, it looks absolutely phenomenal. I hope it goes back and forth. That would be something that I'd love. Because there's many games that go from first person to third person to first person to third person.
Yep. So what do you think? Maybe first person for dialogue, and then when it's action, it's third, or other way around, or what?
True. I mean, geez Louise. Yeah, so when it comes to like Starfield, and are you just like asking specifically like about hype?
I was more on third person, first person view. When do you think?
Yeah. Like I said, I hope it has both.
Yep.
But like if I were to prefer one, it'd probably be first person, just because I know Bethesda's, or actually no, I take that back, third person, just because I've played a lot of Bethesda games in third person.
Play it
Yeah,
in third
okay.
person as well.
Yeah, okay. So third person's...
That's how I play Skyrim 95% of the time. Sometimes I go first person just when I need to see something close. But other than that, I don't.
I spend hours designing hours. I spend ages designing my character, and so I would like to see my character from time to time. Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Exactly right. They added
Yeah.
the mirror thing in Cyberpunk where you could see your character in the
It's
mirror.
awful.
But
It's crap.
that kind of game, yeah, with all those prosthetics and things that you can do, hair color and all that, you should be able to choose
That's why
the
they
option to play it
invented
in
photo
third.
mode. It's just a cheap version to get around the fact they didn't offer a third person mode.
Okay, well, I just posted to yourself, Ham, and the guys on our group. Yes, it is a thing by IGN last year. It is third person you get to choose which mode
perfect.
you want to be in.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah,
that'll make me
we
happy.
could put it, so there we go. Perfect.
Well, let's go, right? Let's go.
Yeah. Why do more games give that option? I don't know why.
Well, they have to make the character model and everything. So, yeah, I'm confused at why they don't allow that camera view.
Yeah.
That's why Bethesda is a goat.
Yeah, exactly. They get so much hate, and their games are buggy, but they put so much more into their games than any other developer. That's why the games can make mistakes, because they give far more options than any other game out there, and they just don't get the credit that they deserve. I think.
And if you want to play it, you have to either get a PC, Game Pass, or an Xbox.
Yeah,
it's just the reality of the situation.
Awesome.
Yeah. True story.
I'm just being an asshole now.
Yes.
Now?
Well, let's go to the next topic.
Now?
Just now?
Quickly shout out to the chat. Glad that you guys are here. Love you every time you show up every week. And harass Elite. Make sure you always put that he's a fraud in the chat, because he is. It's not even at home. He's overseas.
I know, right? So we're actually running the show from Australia and Poland this week.
Poland, yeah.
Right,
you guys are freaking insane.
And we've got a guest in the US, and we've got Red in New Zealand. So we're definitely a very spread out. So if there's any technical difficulties, I think with Ham there's a slight delay in audio, and that's just because we're stretched quite thin in terms of tech. Yeah. But it's working pretty well. Hit that like button, guys. Share it out. You're watching the Gamers Initiative podcast with Elite Gaming Guru, who's half cut in Poland, Red Dead Panda, who's in Middle Earth, and me in Australia. I'm actually going to go make a coffee because I'm really thirsty. And our special guest, Ham Solo. It's always good to have you on, Ham. We always appreciate you taking time out to be a part of our show.
All around the world, the same song. I love it.
Same song. Good song, too, by the way. Digital Underground featuring Tupac. Anyway, take over. I'm going to go make myself coffee. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. If you guys have been living under a rock this week, our next topic is the Microsoft layoff. So, not everyone's thinking about all the economic fun that is happening around the world. So, Microsoft is undergoing significant layoffs. That includes employees at both Xbox and Bethesda. So, the studio that is bringing you Starfield, and even 343 is experiencing this. What are your thoughts? Because there's 10,000 employees being laid off, and there's also just come to light that, and think about it this way, is Google's parent company is about to lay off 12,000 jobs, so 60% of their workforce, and this is just coming out days after the Microsoft information. What are your guys' thoughts on the layoff for Microsoft?
First, Sam Zaluk's got lots to say.
You can start us off, Elite, if you want to start.
Yeah. Well, you can say yes. So Google's getting rid of 12,000 people. So Microsoft's getting rid of 10,000 people, and they're getting all the hate. Google's getting rid of 12,000, and Amazon's apparently getting rid of 18,000.
Amazon's 18, yeah.
Yeah, 18,000. So, but all the hate is directed at Microsoft, obviously, and everyone's under the impression that the 10,000 people will all come from Xbox. But no, the clue's in the name. Microsoft's getting rid of 10,000 people. Not everyone from Xbox is going. There's actually, I think, only a small percentage that actually come from Xbox. And yes, they are hitting Bethesda and 343. I think it's the worst hit. And there's a reason for that, as I posted in a group chat, is the management has said they're first hitting the people that underperforming in their jobs. So that's who they're laying off first. And who's everyone been complaining about? 343 investor. So, everyone's saying get rid of them, do this, do that. They're laying off staff from 343 and Bethesda because they're underperforming their jobs. And now there's an outcry that they're laying off people from their jobs. It's a situation where you can't win this, isn't it? Because it's inevitable. It's going to happen because over the last 4 years, they've recruited 80,000 people and have only laid off 10,000. Let's give it this. Play the console war and give it a comparison. Sony have continuously released staff year on year for the past 15 years, and now this is a point where Microsoft has far more gaming staff than Sony. And then in light of that, you've also got to imagine that they're probably pre-planning the ABK deal coming in, and they're going to have that massive influx of staff coming, which they're going to have to support because they're not getting rid of them. And so, it's.
You're saying they've got to trim the fat?
Yeah, they've said they're getting rid of the underperforming performers, and I don't see a problem with that. Every job does this. It's just not made public knowledge. All our jobs, every job we're in, if you're underperforming, they get rid of you. It's just that it's not made public knowledge, isn't it? It's not put on Twitter, So, and they're doing it, and it's made public knowledge, and it's just life. It's just business. It's how businesses roll. And at the end of the day, it's sad, these people. But the good thing is that a lot of these guys from Microsoft side are game developers, and they will find jobs no problem because gaming is booming at the moment. It's massive, and these guys just roll straight into jobs. You've already had people come out from other studios and that saying, "We need people, send us your CVs." These people just roll straight into jobs. So I think it's kind of sort of fake rage, and we know why it's fake rage because it's Xbox, and they just need to hate on Xbox. So that's
indeed. Well, I mean, even Joseph Staten came out and said, "Hey folks," in a tweet here I've got in front of me. "Hey folks, right now I'm 100% focused on helping people who lost their jobs find great new ones. The outpouring of support from the other studios has been amazing. Please keep it coming." So, they don't just say, "See you later," right? It's a case of, okay, well, can we use some of those people within our other development teams, other parts of the business, or at the same time, probably trying to help them find jobs, which is a big thing that happens with people is your business that you're leaving can sometimes help you, with your resume, with interview skills, things like that, and they can assist, and that's probably what they're doing. So it's not just a case of "see you later," but at the same time, Microsoft has hired so many people over the last sort of couple of years that every business has to downsize at some point in time, right? I'm sure you guys said all this while I was gone making my coffee, but it's true. And at some point in time, after a lull, things will pick back up and they'll hire more people again, and they'll drop people and hire people and drop people and hire people. That's just the way the business goes.
And
it's demand.
For people to turn around and say it's just Microsoft's fault because it's bad management of their staff and bad business decisions and those sort of things, and are completely and they're focused on it, Microsoft saying it's their fault, completely ignoring the basic economic upheaval that is happening around the world in every country. Like Google's impacted, Amazon's impacted, everyone's impacted, not just Microsoft. So I think for people to kind of make it a slight on them and then use this for console wars, get over yourself. People have lost their jobs, and you're trying to turn this into console warring and trying to say like Microsoft needs to be better at doing this, and you're trying to say, well, they've spent all this money on the ABK deal, they haven't really left them enough money for anything else. This is a $1 trillion company. The ABK deal has nothing to do with this. They are looking at this holistically from every area in Microsoft as to where they can trim that fat, because they are a business at the end of the day, and they do need to make sure that they're financially stable and to wade through this economic climate that we're going through at the moment. And yeah, like you said, there'll be lulls, and then eventually, when things start to pick up, they'll probably start hiring. And kudos to all the studios who are jumping out and going along and saying, "Hey, if anyone's looking for a job, come apply here," because that's exactly what the coalition did when some of those studios got completely closed down. Right around COVID time, like PlayStation closed some studios, other studios closed over that period, and these studios came forward and said, "Hey, we want to help you guys out. Apply here. We have jobs openings." And so on and so forth. And for people making out that Halo, like 343 and Halo, is dead as a result, idiotic. And for people saying like, what does this mean for Starfield? Starfield's almost finished.
Halo died before this happened.
Halo died before, but they're actually saying the studio's dead. But like Starfield's almost done, so they would have been getting contractors and other people in to help finish the game off. So they don't need as big a group to like a set of developers in there to actually keep making the game, because the game is basically made.
Yeah.
And that happens with the gaming industry all the time. Like all the extra contractors that they get in, all the extra studios that they get in to help, and then they're like, okay, go off and do your own thing now. We no longer need your help because the game is ready and complete. And I think this whole sky is falling mentality and just trying to use it in a way to console war and trying to go like and say these negative things. You're forgetting that people have lost their jobs and now you're just trying to put a little notch in your belt, and I think you guys need to grow the fuck up.
Well, Red, I'd like to know how many of those 10,000 are actually contractors or on a casual basis or something.
Yeah.
As opposed to how many are actually full-time employees as well. So they don't give you that breakdown. I doubt you'd be able to find that anywhere.
No.
So it's going to be a mixture of all of the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a key point, because a lot of business, I've worked in even government, the first thing you get rid of is your agency staff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's just on temporal contracts or anything like that, you just go, because that's where you go. You don't. It's not as like you're hitting your experienced players and developers and that. You're getting rid of your slack, really, your agency staff, and that's what they'll be doing. They'll just cutting down those agency staff, as any business does. All businesses do it. So I don't know. This really is fake news. It really is just like, Xbox, we need to do something. We need to just bring them down. Oh,
Random.
He swallowed a bit of pillow.
They're just
profitable with you.
Yeah, a bit of pillow stuffing got in his mouth.
Elite, they're just cutting their COVID weight.
Yeah, that's it.
Right,
Yeah. They recruited 80,000 over 4 years, and then they're just cutting down the COVID weight, really.
Well, think about it, right? Because they had to hire more because there was a lot more working from home. They needed more people to try and push these games out. They clearly don't need that anymore, right? They've worked out that they must know timelines and things in the background that we're not privy to. So, all right, basically, 2.5, I think it works out to be % of the workforce is not required anymore. We hired them because we needed the extra hands on deck to get these games out. And that's really about it now, all right? And they might, yes, some of them might be underperforming people or whatever, but essentially they're probably underperforming because they've got nothing to do, all right? They've done their job. They need to move on, and it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Plus, we're coming into a recession. It'll happen by June. We're going to be in a recession. US, UK, Australia, we're all going to hit
New Zealand, yep.
Sorry.
Dude, the housing market's going to be nuts.
I'm not looking forward to how much my mortgage is going to go up.
But I didn't get really get to answer on this topic, so I'm definitely going to chime in now.
For sure. The floor is yours.
I got to actually hop in, and now I'm using my actual good mic and everything now, because the other thing is over. So full attention forward, ready to go. And I tell you, like with these like 10K people being laid off, because we're specifically talking about that. We're not talking about Halo right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just talking about PK in general and everything else, yeah.
Okay, are we lumping this all together right now? Just let me know now so I can completely get my thought across.
Absolutely.
So I don't hold back.
We're putting it all together.
Go with everything.
All right. So I'm gonna give you two thought processes of this.
Mm-hmm.
One from a personal, like kind of like genuine, like standpoint, and then the second point's going to be from like business ham, I guess, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So the first one is obviously like the compassionate part of me says, you know what, this sucks. It obviously sucks that a ton of people lost their jobs, right? These are people, you know, I'm sure all of us here, and I've said this on my other podcast earlier, I'm sure everybody possibly here on the panel and many of us within the chat have probably lost their job at some point in their life if you've worked long enough.
I've been lucky enough not to, but yeah, I've left jobs.
That
Yeah, I
hit
haven't either,
feeling
but,
you get in your stomach when you lose something that financially keeps you afloat is insane, and you never forget about it for the rest of your you just don't. So like in that aspect, I feel really bad for them. I hope the best. But yeah, it sucks. So but from like the business side of it, the way that I see fans out here talking about whether it's Xbox, last year was PlayStation when they got rid of a couple thousand employees, I believe.
Mhm.
At the end of this last year, Facebook got rid of a ton of employees. Amazon's getting rid of even more employees than Xbox than Microsoft is right now.
Yep,
This kind of
18,000.
stuff, huh? What was that?
18,000 for Amazon.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's almost double of what Microsoft is doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, since we're lumping all this together, people are looking at a game like Halo Infinite right now, and I feel like their frustration, although it may be warranted, it is overly. I feel like it's overly.
Simplifying the meta.
I'm sorry. No, not oversimplified. Or yeah, actually, yeah. It's oversimplified and over dramatic was the word that I was looking for, right? Because in my opinion, they cut a bunch of the campaign people from Halo. Earlier, I read a Reddit post from, I believe it was what was it? Joseph Staten. And I'm pulling it up right now because it was really interesting, in my opinion. Gaz actually retweeted it out and had a funny video because Gaz is just Gaz. But but anyways, the tweet read, pulling it up right now. Jeez Louise.
It's all right. Take your time, man.
Okay, yeah, it's right here. It says Jason it is Jason Schreier that said this, not Joseph Staten. My bad. So Jason Schreier said, I ran these bullet points by a few people. While it's true that 343 is focused on multiplayer, the stuff about the campaign DLC being scraped is false.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is very much of that planned in the first place. And a lot of this is either wrong or just speculation. And I'm not saying, whatever Jason Schreier says is, facts. But what I'm not going to say is he's not out here being completely illegitimate all the time. And with a sensitive subject like this, I don't think he would want to purposely damage his own name by just throwing some goofy things about Halo or giving hope in any direction or not. Because if you followed him, he has no problem keeping it real and like shutting things, like shutting people up if he has to, or just flat out blocking them. Jason Schreier has no problem blocking people. But in my opinion, of all of this, like firings and whatnot, people over, worried, in my opinion, about Halo. I also think, like they're doing this across the board. Like they said the same thing, maybe not as wild as, the Halo team, but people at Bethesda were getting released as well. That doesn't mean Redfall ain't coming. That doesn't mean Starfield ain't coming. I feel like anytime there's news about Xbox, whether it's a developer move to another development team somewhere else, or they got rid of some people, when they're literally having a freaking show next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally having a show next Wednesday. People like to over exhaust or yeah, thank you. They like to be overly like pissy for the sake of just like people looking and people freaking out and like pretty much, getting into their feelings for whatever reason. I think this is all silly. I think Xbox is fine.
Molehill, basically. That's what they're doing.
Exactly. I think this is a mountain out of a molehill, in my opinion. I think everything will and is fine. Xbox has a lot of work to do, and keep in mind, a lot of people don't even know this while they're sitting there pissy thinking Xbox is falling down a cliff. A lot of people don't know. Satya had, I believe it's on the 27th of January. He hasn't talked to investors like many other companies at the beginning of the year. Got to talk to investors. Got to keep them invested. What you don't want to say is, I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm overpaying for right now. Absolutely. You don't want to walk into investors and say, hey, I got all this overhead and it's fine. They're going to be like, bullshit. It is not fine. What is happening here? So they did what they had to do. And then on top of that, they have an Activision Blizzard deal, which as soon as it goes through, because I think it's going through, as soon as it goes through, you're going to have a ton of people. You're going to have a crap load of people. Right?
And
so how the hell are they supposed to maintain for everybody? I mean, something's got to give, right?
Yep. And they'll probably have to shred some of that weight too at some point.
Facts.
Yeah.
Maybe a year or two down the track, but they'll still have to probably consolidate some of that as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Once you get your ducks in a row, you've done your studying on your team, you see who's overperforming, who's underperforming, who's mediocre but worth keeping, but who's mediocre and not worth keeping. After a couple of years of that, it's going to be another wave. These are massive companies that have that have business all over the world, like the United States military, dog. Like there is so many people at this company. 10,000, it is a lot of people, don't get me wrong. But if you look at how many people are employed by Microsoft in general, 10,000 is a percentage.
A small one. I think it was 2.5% or something like that. So yeah, it's not a huge number in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. But interesting. But
shout out to those people that lost their dream job, though. I feel bad for them, though, because when you sign up to be at a company like PlayStation, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Netflix, any of that stuff, you were proud for the most part. Nobody did that as a second job.
Nah.
So I feel bad for those that lost their job, but if we're gonna look at it, but if people are gonna say, you know what, they're going downhill because of this, that's cap.
Yeah. I was gonna say, the sad thing is, they do lose their jobs, but that's on their CV, or as you say in America, I think resume. I think once you've got something like Microsoft or whatever on your resume, then you're sorted. You're good for life, aren't you? Really, if you go into gaming. So wherever you worked, Microsoft gaming development. Oh, okay. Then you're gonna be a step ahead of people that say I worked at Sony. But
oh yeah, can I throw one more point out there?
Of course.
Yeah.
Until I hear the team over at Xbox say our 10-year plan is scrapped, Halo is never done.
Yeah.
Yep.
In my opinion. Until they come out straight up and say, yo, it's just we're at our ends with this, and we need either it's a new engine or we need new direction and we can't do it with this current game, until they come out and say something like that,
Mm.
I'm not going to let, although it's sad, I'm not going to let people losing their jobs completely make me think that, oh my goodness, it's over. For all I know, Joseph Staten could have laid down the plan. Xbox says we need X, Y, and Z to get this done. The rest of y'all can go. For all we know, that could have happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think he was hired to join 343 for a long time. I think he was there to sort it out, get it back on track, and then move on, because he's moving to another division. So he's not
Microsoft
leaving.
Publishing, right?
Exactly, right.
Or Xbox Publishing. Which one was it?
Yeah, he's in publishing now.
But he's going back to his original job. So he was originally. So it's obvious that he was pulled in. That it was obviously it wasn't going right at 343. They've said to him, "Look, we need you here for a year to just get rid of the shit. Yeah, to cut down the herd. Yeah." He's gone. Yep, I'll do that. He's gone there. Obviously overlooked things, done his shit, and said, "Right, these people need to go." Bob. And then I'm going back to my old job. Yep, off you go. And they've done that. They've exactly done whatever he said. And they put who's the guy that was in charge, who was made in charge, that was
Pierre
looking for
Hines or something?
MCC. Yeah. And obviously he's back in charge. He's still in charge of it. So it is just a nothing burger. This is actually nothing burger. So yeah, it really is. They've got a guy who's experiencing to come out, sack staff that are not that are underperforming, and then go back to his original job, and he's done that. And I don't see the problem with it, because it's exactly what everyone was asking for. People were saying,
Headlines, right?
Yeah, headlines. You're doing crap, sack your staff, make changes, do this. They said, okay. And they said to him, do what they're asking. He's done it. And now they're complaining, oh, what? You got rid of people? You done what we wanted?
Yeah, what is he supposed to do? Just sitting in the chair and monitor them? He's not going to be, he's not going to, like dude knows how to develop. I am 100% sure he probably does. But he's not gonna do that. His pay grade is not that anymore. It is clear above. He's not sitting at the computers. He's telling the people that sit at the computers what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's looked at them and thought, "You're done. Foreman, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. Dave, you're gone. Jack, you're gone. Rob, I like you. You're gone. Maureen, love you. You're gone."
If they would have canceled Certain Affinity and then came out with this news, then I'd be worried.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
Exactly. No, and yeah, this is a big, massive nothing burger. Really, it is a nothing burger. Yeah. Anyone else got anything to say on this? Should we move on?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory, and I think we've covered all of it very well. Indeed.
To show that
yeah.
Gamers, we're not business people, so you can speculate all you want, but at least keep your head out of the clouds while you do it.
I just want to throw a swing. Actually, oh no, it's Alex, because he said on his recent video they were fired, and you get a lot of people saying fired. So it's a joke. If Barry and Alex don't make a video about me, this is a joke, by the way. But there wasn't fired. They was laid off, and there was made redundant. There was a massive difference between laid off and being fired. Being fired means you're got rid of because you're shit, basically, and you're just not doing your job properly. Laid off is a completely different thing. So they which is a good thing, because even though they've said these people are got rid of because they're underperforming, but they've actually given, unlike what Sony did, they only give their staff 2 weeks. They've give these people 6 weeks notice, 6 weeks notice, and give them their pay for those 6 weeks. So off you go. You can go. But here's 6 weeks pay. You can find a new job. So
yeah, and laid off is like more of a redundancy package.
Yeah, it is than fired. People. That's what annoys me on Twitter.
Fired reminds me of getting marched out.
They're not fired. Yeah. It's almost like on the spot. You walked in that morning. They said you're fired. Get out, and you've left that day. Yeah. Fired, completely different thing. And I don't like the word when people keep saying you fired. No, none of the. They didn't fire 10,000 people. No, ridiculous. I don't like that term. So I just wanted to clear that up. So
indeed. Well, shout out to the chat, everyone in there saying hi to us and having a conversation back and forth. We've got Grey Monad, Jedi Knight Peter, Boba Fett Gaming. Other Zinc is still with us. Good to see you.
Zinc!
What the hell was that?
Monad!
God damn.
Me to my shout. We've got in the mix as well. We've got Jedi Knight Peter.
Said that.
As Hamzo know, that's American for Jedi.
Keep snorting what you're
P2R.
snorting, Elite. It's doing
Yeah,
wonders for
we've
you.
got we've got my favourite guy here. Boom.
Oh my god.
God.
Sorry, I apologize, Ham.
Yeah,
Elites. Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Boba.
That's what
We play we need to get back on Anthem. Do you play Anthem solo?
Say no.
Oh my god!
Say no. Say
Like, why would I go back though?
Oh,
especially to play with you,
no
Elite.
reason.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, why is this trending? Why are you talking about this? Like, I'm not asking maliciously, or like I'm not saying that this game completely sucks. It's just dead, and I'm wondering why you want to play it now.
Oh, this is awkward. I want to kill myself right now.
No, answer
Because
my
Elite doesn't
question.
buy, Elite
Wait,
doesn't
wait,
buy
wait.
games, so he finally got around to purchasing this.
No,
and-
you
yeah.
can't blame me. This is- actually, Ashtray and the guys are
staying
playing it.
very
After
quiet
I was downloading and
conveniently.
enjoying it. Yeah, and I see him, and I see him in a group. And they did invite me to it, but I thought I'd just jump in anyway. And I said, "Do you play Anthem?" And they went, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, I want to play with you." And they went, "Oh." So, and I joined them. And we started playing Anthem again. And because the game is really good, but yeah, I just wondered if anyone else wants to play it with us. But okay.
The reason why
Yeah,
we
I
started
mean-
playing it again,
I mean,
though,
you let me
to answer
know,
your
and
question
you
was
let me know when you
because
guys are playing, and I'm down.
we were just cleaning
Yeah,
up some
see?
achievements.
Yeah, but we're going to play it again now, aren't we?
Yeah, well, at some point.
Yeah, we'll play it again. So yeah, we'll play it again. We'll go. I really enjoyed the game. The game is really
Yeah, I got like 3 or 4 characters with
Yeah.
legendary weapons.
Nice.
We're all level
So like, I
30.
played the heck out of the game.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
love
the game is
too.
good.
It's good.
It's good. Oh yeah, it's a great game. But anyway,
The
That's
Destiny
right.
Killer.
yeah. Just like Skull and Crossbones was the Sea of Thieves killer, and Killzone was the Halo killer. Let's move on. I
Yeah.
know, brutal.
Yes, Xbox report leaks 2024 avowed release date.
Where do you find these topics? I've not heard this either. You're just making this stuff up.
Dude,
I found this topic, man. Do you read our Twitter chat at all, ever? Do you read our chat?
Red.
I don't read
Red.
yours.
You know the answer to
blocked.
all of those questions that you
No.
have.
You're muted.
No. I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, why don't you lead on it then?
Me?
What the subject I don't know anything about. Yeah, go on, Red. You leading it?
Well,
Girlfriend?
according to a new report, right? It's kind of looks like that there's a rumor saying that Avowed could release in Q2 of 2024. And if you're unaware, we saw Avowed a few years ago, and we've seen some leaks about it since. Not much is known about this game, other than it is going to be an RPG, and it's done by Obsidian, who brought us Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, South Park: The Stick of Truth, Grounded, The Outer Worlds, Pentiment. You know, they're actually
Just a few games.
just a couple of minor titles that probably no one's ever heard of or played. And so the game itself is described as a first-person action RPG, and it's set in the world of Pillars of Eternity. And so I think I would love for this rumor to be true. Fingers crossed that it is. What do you guys think? Do you think this rumor has merits that it could be releasing in Q2 of 2024 next year? What are you guys' thoughts on this? Or do you think it's still got quite a while before? Because we haven't really seen anything on it, but we could see stuff on it later this year or even next year. What are you guys' thoughts?
Which game?
Avowed.
Oh, Avowed. Yeah.
Avowed.
Are we gonna see something, or is it coming out? Which one are we asking?
The rumor is that it's being released in Q2 of 2024. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe that. I can believe that.
I reckon back end of 24.
Well, that would Q2 is the back end, right? Because isn't
No.
the financial year starting July?
Well, it depends.
And then Q2 would be your December period.
Depends on whether they're talking financial or calendar.
Yeah, that's true. I assume it's financial year though.
I reckon for
That's
layman's, it's probably calendar.
all
That's
the
how
casuals out there.
Yeah, that's what I thought when they're talking quarters. They're probably talking calendar, I reckon, anyway. But I think back end, because I think a good problem to have, I think Xbox is going to have an issue spreading out all their games, because not only the first party games that are coming, there's a ton of third party games as well, and to slot those all in so that one doesn't overshadow the other, one doesn't take away from, you can't drop a first party game that's going to overshadow a third party, because then the third party is not going to be happy that that's happened. So it's a new problem. It's going to be a good problem to have, but to try and put all those games in a way that it's going to flow. I think you can drop two games that are big, that are completely different genres, like a car racing game and an RPG, because they're two different types of gamers. But it's going to be harder for some of the others to slot in. And I think they must have like all the way out to, I don't know, 2030 probably on what they're going to have, because there's so much coming, so much in the pipeline, so much in the works. It's interesting that there's specifically said Q2, as opposed to just 2024 and kind of left it at that. They haven't gone as specific as a month, but still second quarter, they've obviously got 3 months to play with there. And it's about, where is it going to sit within that quarter? Is it going to be the start of it, the middle, or the end? And they're probably just, trying to shuffle things around and make sure it works well.
The article actually mentions the months of April, May, and June, so you're probably right about the Q2 in the year. I would have assumed it's financial, but I mean, it could even release 2025, but I'm hoping 2024 would be really nice, and then maybe Fable the year after, or even next year as well.
Well, that's the other thing, Red. I think we're still going to have things get pushed back.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do reorganizing, so they might bring stuff forward as well. So I think they're just going to be shuffling, and they're going to be sort of making it up as they go along in a lot of ways.
Hot potato with the video games.
Pretty much. but it's good to see that it's good to hear that it's coming out. I mean, 2024 is really realistically only a year away.
How long has the game been in development? Because we first saw when did we first see it? Was that 2019?
It was shown in 2020.
2020. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2020. They showed it off,
and
they would have started
in development before then. Yeah,
they probably would have started before that.
Yeah, it would have been in pre-production before that. But
yeah, exactly.
And they would have had a slice of the game, and now they're building out the rest of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. How's this gonna play? I don't know. I'd be interested to see the graphics from that trailer. Looks pretty good, but we always know that those sort of CGI trailers are going to obviously show off the best look that it's going to have, and then things change from there. But I don't know. I'm hoping that there's some
merit to this rumor.
Yeah, and that there's going to be some cool dragon fights and stuff like that. But we'll see.
Well, it's set in the world of Pillars of Eternity, so it should be quite good around what we're going to experience. And the lore within that world.
Is it going to be co-op?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Are we going to have any co-op? Solo, do you think there's merits to this rumor? Yeah? Coming out released in 2024, you think that's likely?
Yeah. I think I was the first one to say just a little bit ago, but I'm really hoping about what you guys just mentioned at the end of your conversation just a moment ago, that
the co-op,
that it has like that co-op element to it. That would change it so much and just give you something fresh that you've never dealt with before. Like co-op RPG. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Not like, I think for like what we can probably expect from Obsidian, I think, and the lore within it, I think if they were able to bring a co-op aspect into it, it would be amazing. Yeah.
A what aspect?
Co-op.
Oh, co-op. Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. I thought you said car for some reason. I don't know why.
It's my accent. Just blame my Kiwi accent.
I was like, there's a car in it too?
Yeah,
That's
there's
insane.
a car in this game. Yep. Elite,
let's pillage them and then hop in our Jeep Wrangler.
It's Back to the Future. Did you not know they're bringing that in? Elite, what are your thoughts on this rumor?
Elite's asleep. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. No, well, the beauty of like, being in a hotel room is that I just went on a poo and I could hear everything. That was great.
So could we.
I can't unhear that, Elite. I can't unhear that.
So yeah, what was we? Oh yeah, so yeah, Avowed. Yeah, it'd be fantastic if it's cut because yeah, as Hamsolo said, it would massively change and make a big shift to things because these games are always expected to be single player, and it would be great if you just do a dungeon crawler that's co-op. That'd be fantastic. I've always wanted to have that kind of experience, dungeon crawler co-op, where you just team up and do puzzles together and just defeat demons and monsters together. And I think personally going forward, I don't see why more games, the majority of games are not co-op. I just don't get why not. I think the reason why, it'd sell more games anyway, wouldn't it? Because if games are co-op, then that means someone else has to buy it to play it. So, but
That or game
yeah.
sharing.
Or family plan.
Yeah, on Xbox, we're talking now. Yeah,
Of course.
there's that option. Yeah, so which is where this is. But yeah, Avowed 2024. Yes, definitely release. I already had it set down as well. 2024 release. I think end of 2024. But as we know, they're looking to release 4 games a year. I still think it's gonna be Hellblade 2 at the end of this year, because it'd just be weird if they release those games and then have nothing in the second half. And then, but the thing is, next year they've not announced what's releasing next year, and I think Avowed will be definitely one of those games.
Do you reckon we're likely to see that in E3 then?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Mm.
And then that 12-month gap thing. Just trying to think of the other first party for next year. What other first party they've released? Talk about. We've got State of Decay 3. I can't think. We've got Contraband.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. I'm just trying to think. They got a ton of first party, but I can't think of them on top of the head there. But yeah, they obviously they got to fill that first party gap to, next year. So Valve would definitely
We
be next
might
year.
actually hear what's happening with Everwild this year.
Yeah.
That has just died its own death of news about it.
They got a new director that just revamped it because I think it just wasn't going down the route that it was meant to go down. I've always said I would like to have seen that, but like a Pokemon style of game, but in that style of graphics and sort of really sort of unique game, sort of just to compete with Pokemon sort of thing, but sort of a better version of Pokemon. I mean, like graphically and just better experience of Pokemon. I'd like to have seen that, but
yeah, chat. Chat, do you think Avowed will be co-op or just single player? If it is co-op, would you play with a buddy? I'd like to know what you guys think.
And while you're thinking, please drop a like and a sub and a share. Remember, guys, always drop a sub to the panel members. So we've got Ham Solo, Red Dead Panda, and AshtreyGaming. Please drop a sub to their channels because it's very important. You do it, or you just won't like you.
Yeah, and you don't need to sub to Elite though. Don't worry.
Right. Next topic.
I think we're on our last now, if I'm correct. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Shall
I read out?
Absolutely.
I'll read the title out.
Absolutely.
So Major Douche. Yeah, made a douchebag writer for Kotaku.
Kotaku
lies on Twitter. Has anyone heard about this?
Ham, did you see a guy from Kotaku write that the Xbox fan base is the most toxic
fan base of all time?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm blocked from that guy.
Yeah, everyone is blocked. Everyone's blocked from him.
I'm not
because I didn't respond. I didn't have time to respond.
I quote tweeted him, but his name's Luke Plunkett. He's a plonker. Yeah. He's actually from Australia, so apologies for that, guys.
That explains everything. I knew it.
He's written
in it. He's a
Shazwazza. Yeah. He's written a tweet that says in quotation marks, "Turn away from dividing players." And he says man at the helm of the most toxic fan base in all of video games. Now, the funny part of this is he's got about 17K followers. However, he got ratioed hard by Colt Eastwood, who wrote Phil Spencer doesn't run PlayStation. So far, this idiot's tweet only got 725 likes with 16k subs. And Colt Eastwood's has over 2,200 likes on his tweet.
Even the
which was
PlayStation fans didn't support him. They knew he was talking shit.
Yeah. But this is the kind of idiotic stuff. But what's why this is a topic and why it's been brought up is this guy's a writer for Kotaku. He's apparently a senior writer. Now,
And game designer.
yeah, he probably makes anyway. What? How do these businesses like Kotaku, IGN, and all these other places allow these people to be so biased or show their bias so much? It's come off with ridiculous things like that. Most toxic. I'm pretty sure none of us sent dick pics to devs for a release date on Starfield,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, you send them to everybody, but that's
Yeah, I do. I'll spam them. Yeah.
you're an outlier there. My point is,
Yeah.
is that this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. And it's clearly not true because he didn't even get that much likes on it. But what do you guys think seeing this ridiculous stuff?
Very quickly, it's very interesting that he says that in light of like what Phil Spencer's comments were saying, like the company must turn away from dividing players and creators. Like, that's him talking about what they're trying to do as a company rather than dealing with the actual issues with the fan bases that they have. They have no control over the individual fan bases. So why he turned this into a thing anyway just befuddles me completely. I'm just like, are you that stupid that you don't realize that they have no control? They are trying to actively prevent this stuff as much as they can, to try and make sure it's inclusive and putting inclusive to every gamer. But this is the kind of crap that just encourages console warring bullshit in the chat. Hence, he got ratioed by Colt Eastwood, which was perfect. Yes, the most toxic fan base is not Xbox. The most toxic fan base is a fan base that consistently tells you you're not a real gamer unless you're playing on a PlayStation. The one that completely and utterly made it impossible to play on Xbox last generation without completely and utterly trying to destroy those gamers and basically tell them you guys aren't real gamers because you're on Xbox. Like, that is toxicity right there. And it's been happening generation after generation. And these people who are complete corporate slaves, like, how is that Phil Spencer's fault? And why are you calling out Phil Spencer for doing things that, like, he's actively been trying to wade through this crap, and you can't wade through all of it, but like, this guy's take is stupid. And he's like, see, like, talking about in the chat going, this is the point, like, you can't say that they're not the most toxic when I'm getting all these comments in there. You're getting all these comments in your chat, Luke, because
you're
you're
a
an
moron.
idiot.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing exactly what Phil doesn't want to happen. He's trying to divide people with stupid, idiotic comments like this. Ham, you said you were blocked, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But from what you've heard us talk about, I mean, you know, how do you sort of, what are your feelings on it?
Well, I got blocked because I responded to it. And,
Also,
you
you're
know,
being
it's really
toxic.
weird.
One of those toxic
I mean,
Xbox guys.
all I said was, I put his name. I said, Luke Plunkett, : I think someone is toxic, ... with a parenthesis pretty much that says, make toxic tweet.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very
Pretty much saying that he's saying somebody else is toxic while being toxic at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, it makes no sense. And then on top of it, what I think is just so bad about this, and this really, and as much as they're doing it for clicks and all this stuff, because you know that's what they did it for. They did it for clicks. They did it to rile people up. They did it exactly like you, as you just got done saying, Red Panda, to be divisive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I think it's kind of sickening when a company like Kotaku in one direction will say, you know what? We support gaming in general. We're a place that you can get the quote news, right?
Coming from a place of
But then you
power.
have a person that you gave the title of senior writer. You gave him the title of senior writer for something that's supposed to be objective, a platform, and he is just bashing one side.
Should know
And
better,
and to me, this continues to help people all around the world lose faith in news in news that claim to be non-biased. I mean, you don't have to go very far. You can go to your TV, go to CNN, go to something, and you can just kind of watch it for like a half hour and say, man, they're really supporting this side a lot and not the other side at all. In fact, they are doing everything they can to bash the other side. But right before commercial, they tell you we're credible and we're non-biased or something like that. And I'm just like, man, this world just sucks sometimes because it's just like everyone's trying to fool you into thinking that you're listening to facts when they're opinions. Opinion, and they try to shove it down your throat. And the only way they can feel right is if they get their, echo chamber to come in the room and support them. It obviously didn't work so well this time because, like, as you said, Colt Eastwood kind of ratioed them and whatnot.
It was a murder.
It was, but in my opinion, Colt didn't win. He won. In my opinion, this Plunkett dude won.
Yeah.
Why? Because he got you to pay attention. So guess what? The next time that he comes out with the article, everybody's going to look at it. People are going to bash it. And he's going to be smiling on his way to the bank. Because I tell you what, these writers and stuff like that, they don't care if it's a happy like. They don't care if it's a dislike. As long as you are there to remind them that they're alive, they're happy. And to me, that sucks.
Yeah, the thing
and
is,
people give people like that too much goddamn time. I shouldn't have wasted my own damn time replying to it. I even thought about it before I even hit the send button. Now that I, a whole day has gone by and I thought about it, I was like, man, I shouldn't. I'm part of the problem. I'm giving this dude
a voice,
a platform. I should have just shut up. Colt Eastwood might have ratioed him. He might have got like 1,000 or maybe a couple thousand likes from it. But you know what those likes did? Spread it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So in all actuality, we need to just like
ignore him.
Try to get rid of these people. The less people looking at them, the less credible they can feel.
Well, I mean, I agree with that to a point, but at the same time, you need to make people aware so they can block them. They can block his account. They can mute them. They can unsubscribe from Kotaku from seeing this shit. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's not quite as clear-cut as that. I agree. I want these people to go as well. There's a lot of people in the gaming media that need to go. They need to be silenced. And I'm not saying killed. I'm just saying they just need to lose their voice because they're ruining it.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, that's the thing is he's blocked so many people now, and the majority of those people, all those people, will be Xbox guys. So he's cut out sort of thousands of Xbox people from now viewing his content now. So the majority of his content that is viewed, he puts out now, only PlayStation fans will see it now. So, which is sort of so generic for the media. But I mean, he sort of calls Xbox gamers the most toxic. But I think people have posted like stuff like PlayStation fans have posted. But we've got God of War producer claims fans are sending dick pics asking for a Ragnarok release. Here we go again. Insomniac Games is receiving death threats over Spider-Man recasting. God of War director condemns vile rape threat sent to female developer, and he doesn't hold back. Ex Sony game designer threatened with death for praising Xbox Series X. It just goes on and on. There's a whole list of toxic on the other side.
Tweeting
But
POTUS about the ABK deal.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. You can't get more a more toxic side than that side. So it's just disgusting, really, because this is why everyone makes fun of them. This is why you get PC gamers now, like your Fritangas and your Ono8 Alex, that just completely target them. They can't comprehend that they're in the wrong. They don't understand it. They go, "Why? Oh, you're Xbox guys. Why are you just targeting us? Because you just continuously just come out with crap. You continuously talk crap. You make content for these people. Just stop talking shit. Just stop lying to yourselves." It's weird. It's a really weird mentality.
It's frustrating that these platforms have a stranglehold over the industry and is going to be near impossible, if not completely impossible, to get rid of them.
Yeah,
that's the frustrating part. Is you can't. Yeah,
you can't. Not until Sony dies off, and then Sony die off, and then they'll just switch to Xbox. They'll be toxic on Xbox, and then they'll just switch to it's like football, or it's any sport, I guess. But I'll just use football because that's the sport in the UK. You got sport, you got football fans, and you got hooligans. Hooligans will just go to a club and just pick fights because that's what they can do in that club. And then, if that club was to close down, they will just go somewhere else and then join another club, become hooligans in that club. Some people just like to, who's it? Michael Caine said,
watch the world burn.
Yeah, and that is true. These people just want to watch the world. They don't care. They're not gamers. They just don't care. They don't give a shit, and they're happy to destroy anyone.
I think it's interesting that they've got a voice, and they're coming from what's seen as power within the industry because they work for they're journalists, and they work for a company that is, I guess, well known, not in the best light by gamers, but they are known. And for them to kind of have this opinion and say that is just stupid. Like, use your brains, like engage something and realize that you are actually not helping the issue. You're creating more division. 100% more division. Like that, the whole, when we got more news about Starfield having its own dedicated show, IGN releases another tweet that about that article about saying you can't fly up and down to in Starfield from
the planet
to space. And like, we knew about that. Why are you re-releasing a tweet about this? Because you're trying to take away from the positive aspect and put a negative spin on it and get clicks in this, because maybe you didn't get used the first time. But like, all of these people have been doing this, and that's the issue. Is like, you and I know, like, there's always unconscious bias, but you should be making a very big effort to try and not be fueling this stuff. And I understand last generation, it was all you could, like, to get clicks, all you had to do was like pick on Xbox and praise PlayStation, and that's all you needed to do. And it's not the same anymore. Grow up, move forward. Everyone else has changed. Mindshare has changed around Xbox and PlayStation as well. And so I think these guys haven't learned to move with the times, and as a result, they're going to get ratioed by gamers, and it's going to keep happening. Like, we would like facts, not fiction, and facts, not feelings as well. Like, because
I'm going to come back in now.
Opinion, yeah.
You're an idiot.
I'll come back in and like John Cena. I'm just rushing down there. Yeah, because I want to go.
Can I just point out, like, his complaints about the people
I was going to say
in Twitter who he's complaining about, the Xbox people who are complaining about his tweet. Get out the world's smallest violin. You brought this on yourself by posting it.
Yeah, how about don't be a dumbass?
Yeah.
Please. No, but I was going to say, as you was on IGN, I was going to say, a point I was going to bring up on IGN, because I just see other Sync mention IGN as well, is that IGN, as you said, they sort of just thought they'd just take swings at Starfield because, news is quiet, there's not much news going on, Sony's not bringing out anything positive, as usual. Let's just take swipes at Xbox. and they just start sort of releasing sort of negative stuff about Starfield randomly.
Yeah, but they're all
That
morons.
is about a year old. Why? Even though their profile has recently, I'll read it for you guys.
Everyone at IGN are retards, man.
I'm just going to read their IGN profile that I had on when God of Ragnarok come out. They had a picture of God of Ragnarok, because they're not biased at all. Picture of God of Ragnarok. We're all about video games, movies, TV, and comics. Ragnarok is coming, so keep an eye out. where's the picture of Starfield? And Starfield is coming. Keep an eye out. Also, we got what's his name? Jeff Sony Keighley, that's now sort of promoting the DualSense controller all over his thingy. I went into his profile. Yeah, the Edge, the exactly same setup the Elite controller has. He's promoting it for the DualSense. I went into his profile, done a search for Elite controller. He's never mentioned it once in his lifetime. Never mentioned it once. Why is that? Because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. No, he doesn't give a shit. DualSense comes out with the same package the Elite controller had in bloody 2016. He's like, wow, this is amazing. Look at the he just took a picture of the same setup as the Elite controller had. DualSense released the same thing. And so he's just promoting Sony as always. Oh, look at their controller package. Oh, amazing, incredible. Look what they've done. You think you're just I just don't want to say it because it's a rude word. So,
well,
yeah,
they're all idiots.
The media bias. There is clear media bias against Xbox. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because there's Microsoft behind them and because Microsoft's a big company and people tend to hate on big companies. But then you say that, but then people don't give the same hate to Google or Amazon or Apple. Nowhere near as much as Microsoft. So, do they? Because the recent layoffs show that Microsoft's got rid of 10,000 people, Google 12,000, Amazon 18,000. Who do they target? One with the least amount of layoffs. It's just weird. It's just, it's horrible. It's clear biased, and it's just nasty.
Indeed.
Anything else you want to? Anyone else want to add anything else before we head out of here? Because I'm getting ready to gear up and leave. Yeah.
I'm just shocked still that people have the opportunity to work at these news sites. News, right?
Yeah.
What he said wasn't news.
Nope.
What he said was just disrespectful. And I just don't understand how somebody walks up and punches somebody in the back of the head and then says, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna call the police." That's essentially what he did. He went out and punched the Xbox community and said, "Hey, you guys are assholes." And we're like, "What? What do we do to you?" And he's like, "You guys are toxic." It's like, you just hit me. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's the way he came into this, and now he's saying, "Oh, I'm getting attacked." What do you mean you're getting attacked, man? No, people are answering your tweet.
Yep.
If you feel attacked by that, maybe you should be careful how you tweet.
Yeah, playing the victim card before in a situation that he created. Yeah. That's what these guys are like. I don't know, it's frustrating. I get pissed off with this dumb shit myself, but anyway. Pete, Jedi Knight Peter in the chat said there's toxicity on both sides. Go check out that Risk It guy. Oh, shit. Risk It. You're going to have some words to say to your boy. Anyway, that was our last topic. Is there anything else anyone wants to discuss? Because I'm ready to head out myself.
Now I want to go see my niece.
Yes. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. Ham. Let's do some outros. Ham. What have you been playing? Where can people find you and all that good stuff?
So as I said earlier, I've been playing a crap ton of Ark Survival Evolved. Also been playing Skyrim, NBA 2K23,
With Dealer.
Shenmue. Yeah, with some with Dealer and Def Jam, Fight for New York. Been playing some of that. I just downloaded Persona 3 Portable. I think I'm going to give that a try because I did beat Persona 5. Pretty good game. I'm interested. And I tell you what, I seen a tweet earlier today that said, "Oh, Persona 3 is sexist" or something like that, and I don't know where these random people are coming from with, bad Russia game, bad Hogwarts game, bad Persona. And it's just like, man, y'all are doing some excellent advertising because the more you guys complain, the more I just want to dig into these games. Sorry to say it.
The Streisand effect
Is what it is. It's fact. But anyways, yeah, that's what I've been playing as of lately, and that's what I'm going to be playing. And then on top of it, where you could find me, Twitter at HamSolo05Gaming. And then I just finished up doing a podcast just a little bit ago over on my actual YouTube channel, which is TSWS Gaming. Been doing that for about a year and a half. Pretty dope. Love the show that I got going on, and I love your guys' show too. You guys are some good individuals. I had 2 out of 3 of you guys on my channel. I think Elite's up, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
I wouldn't recommend it though, man. But it's up to you. It's your channel.
I mean,
Make sure your questions are.
I'm not trying to gain
below.
subscribers. I'm trying to lose them. So
Yeah.
Elite, come on through. Help sweep the floor.
Oh,
Lay
man.
off 10,000.
That's funny. Elite. We'll throw it to you.
What?
What have you been doing? What have you been playing? Where can people find you?
Well, I'll say
What are you doing right now? What are you wearing?
Isn't he wearing?
I'm just wearing one sock.
One sock. Must be a ankle sock.
Yeah, you can find me here. Yeah, yeah, my channel on here.
All right,
Yeah.
Red. Where can we find you?
You
What
can
have you
find
been
me
playing?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox. Red Dead Panda. Yeah, basically. Well, I'm trying to get into. I mean, I'm gonna start playing Monster Hunter Rise. I've created a
Sure.
character. I've never played them, so like I said, anyone who's played those, if you want to play with me, please. I have no idea really what I'm doing with those Monster Hunter games, so yeah. But I'm going back and I was playing some more Cyberpunk. I've got to go back and also play some more Witcher. I've got lots of games like that. Like I finished off, like I said, a Plague's Tale Requiem. I needed to. It'd been sitting there for a while, just unfinished. I was about halfway through the story and just didn't finish it. I didn't realize that game was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Thanks, Ashtray. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week on the show. I'm looking forward to it. Jedi Knight Peter says Monster Hunter Rise is trash. Yes, probably. I have no idea. I've never played them, so give it a go. It's on Game Pass, so no harm, no foul.
It looked like a Switch game still. It just on a big screen TV.
Oh, it does look like a Switch game still. Yeah, I loaded it up, created a character. I was like, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's in line with Forspoken. No, I'm sorry, I'm joking. Joking to those who are excited to play Forspoken. It's 720p on a PS5.
Damn.
Anyway. Yeah,
That's
what
insane.
about yourself, Ashtray?
That's insane when you say that, because whenever I hear, I don't mean to interrupt, but whenever I hear 720p, like the first thing I think of is 360.
360, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, look, they've got a lot of optimizing to do on that game, so we'll see what happens by the time they bring that out.
It'll be optimized by the time
Square Enix hates
Xbox,
PC
right?
players.
They also hate Xbox. So
I know, because what is it? You need a 4080 or something?
for ultra
4080 for 4K.
Funny
That's
thing is
crazy.
that game was that GPU wasn't even out when the game started in development. So interesting that that's the top spec.
Ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, I'm Ashtray Gaming. You can find me at Ashtray Gaming on everything. I like to keep it all uniformed, and that's really about it. I'll be on this show next week as well. We've got a guest next week, I believe, so that's good. But thanks to our current guest, Ham Solo, for coming in today. We really appreciate when you come on and spend time with us. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, we're out. Catch you guys later.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for